We are filming our rally recap from Mobile Rally HQ, which is our camper, because we're still in the UP.
Yeah, we made it maybe about an hour on our way back home, and the turbo went out on the truck. Not the first time it's happened, but this time the turbo's done. It's pretty seized up. So the truck still runs, just not very well. Definitely can't haul the trailer any further. And being a Sunday, nothing's open up here. Everything closes, and it closes early. So
Yeah.
we're camping tonight.
Yeah, we're at the intersection of two very rural highways. We really lucked out though because just behind us here is a gas station slash grocery store because it's one of those towns, and then behind us is up this way is a Dollar General. So everything we need is right here, and there happens to be a public parking spot that fits our camper. So it all worked out.
And it hasn't been too bad. We've done some looking around. We might be able to get the truck fixed tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a Ford dealership down the road.
Yeah, it's a small one. Maybe they'll have the parts we need. Maybe not. If not, it's about an hour to the next bigger city from here. So we're just gonna kind of wing it tomorrow and try and figure out how to get things fixed and get back home. But for now, we're here doing our recap.
Yeah, I made some pizza burgers on the grill, and so we ate a good dinner. And so, yeah, LSPR, I mean, being stuck on the side of the road after the LSPR we just had is not so surprising. But honestly, I want to say up front, we both had such a great time, and we cannot wait to come back.
Yeah, we'll definitely be coming back next year. We were not able to finish this year, but we'll want to come back next year and finish the rally. I feel like, and a lot of people have said this too, that LSPR isn't about getting on a podium. It's about beating the rally itself. It's a tough rally. There's lots of varied surfaces, varied stages. There's everything from fast sweepy sections to really tight technical sections to super rutted sections, which are great fun when you're near the back of the pack.
Yeah.
And didn't have any crazy weather this year. A little bit of rain leading up to it, so the surfaces were soft. A little bit of water to go through, but
Yeah. Well, there's quite a lot of water that hadn't drained. One of the stages in particular was at Herman that had the Beaver Dam, so the road was kind of flooded and they cleared the dam.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, despite all the trouble we had, we really had a great time. We started.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the trouble we had.
Yeah.
Because, as usual with our rallies recently, it's been a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
We got up here. What day did we get up here? Wednesday.
Yeah. The trip out here was great, though.
Yeah, trip out here actually didn't have any problems. We got in pretty late, though. Got registered.
Yeah.
And went out and did recce on Thursday, which was actually pretty good. They don't give us enough time to do 2-pass, and we did write our own notes for this rally.
Yeah.
So this is the second rally we've written our own notes for. We tried to schedule out to do 2-pass. Found out they didn't give us enough time for that, so cut it down to try and do 2-pass only a handful of stages, like the first loop, but not the second loop. That didn't happen either.
Yeah.
So one good thing to know about out here is you won't find a gas station open at 5:30 in the morning. So fill up the night before if you can, because if you're looking for gas in the morning, you won't find it. And gas stations are very far apart here.
Yeah.
So keep lots of gas in your tank. Don't go below a quarter tank out here.
Yeah.
You won't get very far. That was kind of the issues we struggled with. Some low fuel in the truck during recce, and then we had a lug nut bolt shear off, which caused other lug nuts to get loose and cause some mean vibration, which delayed us probably about 45 minutes trying to get that fixed. But we did at least get one pass done. So we did a single pass recce, wrote our own notes, and I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, I think it went really well, and we had all the stage video to go back and review, so we were able to get a second pass by video. Which worked out great. So we got done with recce slightly earlier, I think, than even we planned.
Yeah, about an hour before recce was officially closed.
Yeah.
So maybe a little, like 30 minutes earlier than we had originally scheduled, despite the issues.
Yeah, we came back and I had chili going in the crock pot. So, we sponsored our friends Garage Hirohata, Jake Burke and Eric Schlee and their Honda Civic. And so they convoyed with us out to the rally, and we had a great, fun trip out here, switching around in the trucks and driving each other's rigs and stuff. And then, so yeah, I made chili for us. So after reconnaissance, we came back. We all had chili, and then we reviewed the recce video and
we did
polished
all
up
our
our
second
notes.
pass on video.
Yeah.
Which actually worked out really well.
Yeah,
I was
we really
pretty happy
enjoyed it.
with how that being able to speed things up and run it at a faster speed in the video is nice.
Yeah.
Get a better feel for the flow. But yeah, we'll definitely do that again.
Yeah, and I just felt like our rally was off to such a great start. And so Park Expose for day one was in front of the hotel. There's like a grassy area, which was really
It's
neat.
like commercial district of Houghton.
Yeah.
So pretty decent turnout with the crowd.
Mhm.
There's quite a few people. It's kind of a smaller area, but they packed a lot of cars in there.
Mhm.
They kind of formed just like a ring with all the cars pointed inward, and then people just kind of took off in order.
Yeah, and that was really, really neat to see, how many people showed up there. The expose was what we got there. Was it 3:00 or?
It was pretty late in
Yeah,
the day.
it was late, and they do that because almost the majority of the stages for day one are actually run at night.
Yeah, the first two stages were kind of at dusk, but once you get into the woods out here at dusk, it's almost night.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the stages were all well in the dark. But we ran into some issues.
Yeah, so our first couple of stages, we really took it easy. The Samsonas suspension that we put on the car is still pretty new to us. We did get to run it at Show Me, but that's a totally different road surface.
Yeah, and we've ran Show Me before. We ran some of those roads at 100 Acre Wood. We ran Show Me. That's our second time running it. So we're pretty used to Show Me and how to drive those roads. But coming out here, the surface is just totally different than what we're used to. It's a really soft surface, kind of almost sandy, but it's really tacky too. So there's actually a lot more grip than you think. It's not like STPR where it gets a little wet and it's just real slimy.
Yeah.
Out here, the roads are relatively flat. There's not much of a crown, so you can really hold a lot of grip through the turns. So just spent the first two stages getting a good feel for that and kind of getting up to speed. Went back to service.
Yeah, the first service was really uneventful. I don't think anything really happened. The crew sent us, filled us up and sent us back out, and away we went. And we were really excited to start the next loop and push a little bit harder. And since we had gotten a feel for the car, and
this was the Bob Lake south to north. So this was Bob Lake in reverse. The first stage we ran was Bob Lake north south. Then we ran south north, and it was dark. Had our rally lights on. I think we held a pretty good pace through that one. It was definitely rutted. Yeah. There were some pretty bad ruts.
We rode our skid plate through.
Yeah.
Many a corner.
Kind of like just skiing across the ruts with the skid plate.
Yeah.
But it felt pretty good. I think we had a decent time on that stage. Not slow, not fast, but decent. And we got to the next stage, Estes Lake Part 2. This is the second running of that stage.
The Red Cross. ODD Racing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Totally skipped that one.
So ODD Racing, their car caught fire, and you can find video of that on their page. You should go check it out. But it was Cameron Steely driving. His usual co-driver Preston Osborne wasn't there for this rally, but their car did catch on fire. Everyone was okay. They got it put out really quick, and the car actually had pretty minimal damage. They'll get a new engine in it, and the car will be just fine.
Yeah, that's right. We did transit that stage. Everybody transited it. We actually knew about the Red Cross before we even left the refuel area, so we knew going there it was probably going to be transited. And then we ran the stage after that before Bob Lake South North. That stage, I don't think we did great on. It felt pretty slow. We did let a car go past us, just so they didn't lose any time. And it took them most of the stage to catch us, though. It was probably about a mile and a half, maybe 2 miles before the end of the stage. It was a long stage. I think it was 12 miles, something like that.
The Honda Fit.
Yeah. So they got past us, and we finished down that stage, and then went to Bob Lake South North, which, after getting passed on stage, needed to step up the game a little bit. So we had a pretty good run at that.
That was stage 5, and I really felt like we were pushing, but at a much more comfortable, we were a lot more comfortable with the road surface. And so we were really starting to push the car and feel good.
And Bob Lake's a really fun stage.
It is, yeah.
You got some long sections followed by 5 or 6 really technical turns, then opens up again into another long sweeping section. Just it does that over and over and over again along the length of the stage. It's really fun. But after that, we got to Estes Lake.
Yeah, so stage 6, we lined up at the start, and the car felt great. I was so excited to push on another stage, and we had that stage and then another service.
This was the stage with the big jump in it.
Yeah.
So if you see some videos of the big jump, it was this stage. We didn't really jump at the first pass. It was it's kind of sketchy. There's a big jump after a long straight, and then a very
It's like a right two or something.
It's a left
right?
one.
Or a left one.
Through spectators. So,
yeah.
The first time we kind of took it a little easy. Fortunately, we didn't get a second chance.
No. So yeah, we lined up to start the stage and went to take off in the car, and we got maybe 2 turns down the road.
I think it was the first turn. Just going around the first turn, I just felt the engine start losing power, started sputtering, throttle just made it worse, and the car just kind of died down the straight. So just kind of coasted, pulled off the side, tried to start it again, wouldn't start. So we hopped out, got our triangles out, got the OK out, and it was unfortunate we were so close to the start of the stage, but it was really the first turn. Somebody's really carrying crazy pace, and there's lots of room, lots of visibility coming over that turn for them to see us. So.
And another funny thing that happened, so the car died, and I looked over, and I see 2 little red glowing lights in the forest, and I was like, what in the world? And I climb out of the car, and there's just a couple U-Peers sitting up there just, oh, y'all okay out there? You know, all I can see is their little hats glowing. They're like, oh, it's funny that you died right here in front of us, you know. There's nobody else in these woods for a long time, and you ended up here. It was hilarious. So they were just talking to us the whole time we were standing there with our little OK sign, and so we waited for Sweep, and Sweep elected to just pull us back to the start of the stage because it was not far from a start at all.
Yeah, and we tried to get going again. It was definitely a mechanical issue that caused us to pull off. We weren't getting any fuel pressure.
Yeah.
And it happened to us at Show Me too. We had some issues with fuel pressure there, but this was not the same issue.
Yeah.
We put some fixes in place before this rally, but this was another failure in a different part of the system, and the fuel pump just gave out.
Conked out, yep.
So we weren't getting any pressure, couldn't really go anywhere. They tow strapped us back to the start, the one turn, and then just kind of left us there.
Well, they didn't leave us there. There was a volunteer that stayed with us, and he was amazing, and we should remember his name, but I can't now off the top of my head. But
yeah, but he had snacks, he had some drinks,
yes.
So he just hung out with us and waited for our crew to get there. And I mean, we're out in the middle of the woods. It's pitch black out with no lights. Our car had battery that still worked, but we didn't want to drain it down, so we just stood out there and we chatted for a bit.
Yeah, so rally volunteers are absolutely the best. I ate a cookie, and once our crew got there with the new fuel pump, we changed it on the side of the road and got the car running. And we ended up getting back to the campsite around the same time that we would have finished. Because I think by the time we got back here, it was about, back to camp, it was about 2 a.m. And our friends from Garage Hero Hada, Jake Burke and Eric Schlee, said they got back around 2 a.m. by the time they finished the last loop of the 3 stages.
In the transit back. It's a very, very long transit back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was day one. So fortunately, we did have a spare fuel pump. I had the foresight to bring that. So we got that fixed. And we plan to re-enter on day 2, do a super rally, take the penalties for the missed stages, and at least continue rallying on day 2.
Yeah, so we hopped, the car ran great all the way out to the Lands High School, where they had or just down the road there on the waterfront.
Yeah, it was on the waterfront. It was actually a really cool spot.
It was
like a little park there. There's kind of a beach right there on Lake Superior.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. And everyone's, again, packed really tight onto this little road right next to the park.
Yeah, and I finally got to meet my rally hero, Natalie Richard, and so that was really awesome. I kind of had a moment where I fangirled a little bit, but I'm really thankful that my friends from Cheshire Racing, the Millers, they went and said hi to Natalie with me. And apparently, while I was actually talking to those guys, Mike was sneaking around back and sticking a cat on the back of our car. So now we have a little black cat on the back window, which I think is just awesome. Reminds us of our friends. We always have them with us on our car, and they have a sticker, one of our stickers on their car. So it's really neat, I get to see it and think of my friends all the time. So, yeah, we left from Park Expose, and honestly, we're just going to head out and just try to finish the rally. We weren't even caring so much about, pushing, because these were the rougher stages. You're not going to make up time on the really rough stages.
Yeah, we missed 3 stages on Friday night, so that would have been 10 minutes, 7 minutes, another 7 minutes. So quite a few minutes of penalties. So there was really no chance of us getting a good position at the end, but we could at least still try to finish the rally with the penalties for the missed stages. So that was our goal. Well, I changed my mind a little bit once we started on the first stage.
Yeah.
On day 2. So the first stage was
Arvon Silver or something?
Arvon Silver, yes. So if you look on YouTube, there's a lot of videos of people running day 2 in the snow last year. That was Arvon. It's a very rough stage.
Very rough.
It's very technical, but also very fun. It kind of reminds me of the waste management stages at STPR in a way, in some of the sections, because it kind of gets really rough, really tight. With some water you got to go through in some areas. There were definitely some ruts out there. Lots of very large rocks. Painted rocks, just like New England. So we had those noted from Recce. Made sure we avoided those.
We definitely carried over some of the lessons we learned earlier this season into this rally. I'm glad we had those skills.
But the big thing was, at least for me, was I wanted to test out the suspension, really put it through its paces, see what it could do, and really push a bit on this stage specifically, just because I knew a lot of people weren't going to push. So I wanted to see what we could actually do.
And the upside is the faster you go, the smoother it gets.
Yeah, that's what we actually found out. Is there's a lot of little dips and ruts, just little washed out areas, but you kind of just glide over them. And I wanted to see if the suspension would really do that and soak that stuff up. And actually, it worked really well.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised with just how much it soaked up. There were still some rough hits here and there. I did my best to avoid the big rocks, but the ruts, when we bottom out, there's not a whole lot we can do. Just got to ride it through. So we were pushing pretty good until we ran into another issue with our fuel cutting out about a mile or so from the end of the stage. Ran into the same issue we had Friday night. We started losing fuel pressure, losing power, and then the car just died. We pulled over, waited a second, started back up. Fuel pressure came back, though. So we tried to go on, but it wasn't working.
Yeah, we had just enough fuel pressure to kind of putt through to the end.
Yeah, it seemed like just you give it more throttle and you lose pressure, and then we just couldn't go anywhere. And so we kind of just limped through the end of the stage. Which was really discouraging because I thought we were doing a pretty good pace through there.
Yeah, I was really, really proud of our pace through there. Even though it was rough, and I was definitely saying some oofs and ows a few times for some of those ruts, it was still incredible how much the suspension soaked up, and just his skill with being able to get through everything while pushing the car. I was really, really proud of us. Even though we just kind of coughed out at the end of that stage, and we stopped at the end of that stage, but actually we were in good company, I guess, because Hooper was there. Well, his car was there, and Claudia was with it, and it sounds like he broke some suspension components, and we had also passed Booth on the stage.
Ryan Booth, he was having some issues on the side of the stage, and there were at least a couple other cars.
Yeah.
That stage just eats cars. It's the roughest stage, I think, of the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And just, it takes cars out.
Yeah, so despite our little fuel pump antics, I was still really proud that we, coughed through it. So,
we did get through the finish. We pulled over, checked some stuff out. It seemed like maybe one of the fuel hoses was kinked a little bit, maybe reducing flow. We fixed the kink in the fuel line, and it seemed to get it going again.
Yeah, the car ran great again after that. The whole transit to the next stage, I think, was about 20 minutes. There was not a single issue. The car ran beautiful.
Uphill, downhill, open throttle, partial throttle. It was all working fine.
Oh, we also had our comms cut out.
We had some issues with that. We'll have to look into that. I think there's a ground connection that might be a problem that we need to get sorted out. We've had the issue before.
Yeah.
And I think once it tightened the ground, that got it fixed. So we'll look into that.
But yeah, comms definitely cut in and out a couple times, but not for very long each time. And I can yell over the car, so that's not an issue. And our friends from Garage Hero Hado had some issues with their comms as well.
They did have some comm issues. It seemed like there were a few teams out there that had some comm issues this weekend.
Yeah, another team needed to borrow comms from somebody else. So one poor gal at the end of the rally went up. They won a trophy, and they asked her to speak, and she just kind of gave a little whisper because her voice was gone. So that wasn't an uncommon issue. But
friends at Garage Hero Hada, they had a mishap and yanked the mic wire out of their helmet, which kind of ruined their comms for the rest of the week. And that happened on Friday.
Yeah. So all day Saturday they had no intercoms. But, that's something that you can work through. So You just don't have a voice by the end, I guess.
You can either yell or hand
Hand
signals.
signals, yeah.
Hand signals also work well.
If you have to, yeah.
Maybe worth practicing sometime with the hand
Right.
signals in case we need a backup.
Yeah.
Lights go out, comms go out. But yeah, fuel pump seemed to work fine going to the next stage.
Yeah.
So we transit all the way there, and we were late, of course,
Mhm.
trying to get stuff out. So we were already getting penalty for checking in late. We get there, check in, and we got some weird screeching noise going on too. It turns out we picked up a rock. But
Yeah.
it sounded worse than it actually was. But So we pull up into the control, and the car just like screeching at everybody as the wheels are turning, and I'm sure we looked like we were in rough shape as we pulled up, just for the noises and how late we were. But we did check in. We pulled up the start, ready to go. Took off, and the car immediately started sputtering and died within like
50 feet.
Yeah, 50 feet of the start control. We got past it.
Yeah,
and it was just done.
Yeah. So we get out of the car and we get our triangles out because there's still I think 3 other cars that showed up behind us. Like Booth showed up behind us.
Yeah, Booth was already there waiting for his minute, and then we just stopped there. I'm like, why am I even putting these triangles out? They can clearly see we're over here. Just ran over there with the okay, got the triangles down.
Yeah. That was the 3rd time we had to get triangles out.
I raged a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
I was like, I was so mad.
Yeah, I totally understand his frustration with that. We just wanted a good run at a stage, and it was really frustrating to start. This is the 3rd time I'm having to climb out of the car and run triangles out. Like, I've never jogged so much at a rally, and so we got we put our little triangles out like we're supposed to, and I'm standing there with the okay sign. So I got to watch Booth launch, which was kind of cool, and then a couple other cars, and then after those cars went by, the start control, same guy who was there when our fuel pump died the night before, just goes, "Hey, you want to turn around and come back to start?" And we're like, "Sure, why not?" So they literally just walked the 50 feet to our car and pushed us back out the start.
Yeah.
Super
Actually,
awesome guys.
I think the car was running enough that I could turn it around, but then as we were driving back the start control, because Sweep asked if we wanted to tow, and I told him no.
That's right, yeah.
Because the car would still start, we just weren't getting any good pressure to keep going.
Yeah.
But as we turned around, started driving back to the control, and then the car just died completely. The pump, again, just was not functioning.
Yeah.
And this was the new pump that we had replaced last night.
Yeah.
So we did have to push it the last 20 or so feet back past the control, get it out of the way for the next loop of cars to come through.
Yeah, the cars were supposed to be coming through again.
That was the first pass on that stage. And they were scheduled another pass. They still had a big service in between, though. So we had some time. But yeah, at that point, we just had to throw in the towel.
So
we're out of fuel pumps, out of motivation and desire to even just go through this whole thing on another stage, somewhere else, further away from where our crew was. So. Yeah,
so we called our crew and had them come out, and they found another fuel pump, but it wasn't even the same fuel pump. We didn't know if it would work. They stopped it somewhere and got one and then met us there. So by the time they got there, though, we were really bored because we had nothing else to do. So Calvin went ahead and pulled my seat out to get to the fuel pump better.
Started disassembling parts of the car, get them out of the way, got the old fuel pump out just to look at it.
Well, the new fuel pump.
The new, now broken fuel pump. And just started tearing it apart to see if we could put an inline in there, just rig something up, get it to work. Actually, turns out the new pump didn't just fail. It actually picked up some sediment out of the tank, and it was totally seized up. Yeah, it was like there's like a tiny little pebble.
Smaller than a BB.
Yeah. So that actually seized the pump up. So I actually dislodged it with a screwdriver, freed up the pump again, and a little more sediment came out. Rinsed it out and tested it, and it worked. So threw it all back together. Yeah. Just to see what it would do and fire it up. So
that was cool. But what wasn't cool, while we were figuring out how to get the pump to work again, I looked under the front of the car, and there was a big old puddle of oil forming. Oh, yeah. So, I think maybe the little pebble saved us a little bit, because had we been able to get down the stage, I think it was better to run out of fuel before we ran out of oil. So we took that as, A
over the
good
45
sign.
minutes we were sitting there, we probably lost about 4 quarts of oil.
Yep.
So we wouldn't have made it very far.
Mm-mm.
Would have made it maybe the next 2 stages before we were out of oil, and the engine probably would have seized on us, which would have been a lot more difficult for us to recover the car. So at least we got that fuel pump working. It wasn't working as best as it could. The damage was already done.
Yeah.
We really only hold about 20 psi of pressure, which is right on the limit of what the engine will handle to not run too lean.
Yeah.
So our crew showed up, got everything loaded up, figured out the squeaky noise in the rear.
We just pulled the wheel off and unlatched the rock.
Rally brakes in the rear. Had a rock launched back there. We got everything back together, topped it off with oil, and then just drove back to camp.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the end of the rally for us.
Yeah, but I mean, we kind of decided while we were standing there that pizza and beer sounded fabulous, and that we were just going to go park the car at camp. And our campsite was actually on Lakeshore Drive, which is the same road that they run for the Super Special. So
maybe like a mile and a half from where the Super Special actually happened. So.
And the campsite was right there on the beach. It was amazing. The City of Houghton RV Park, so we definitely recommend that.
And we actually got back in time to get everything situated, get the car at least parked and secured, and all our gear, and then go over, get some pizza, and grab a beer, and wait for the Super Special.
Yeah, so we enjoyed our pizza and beer, and then went down to the road that the stage was on, and it was really, really awesome because we got to see so many of our friends finish. Amanda Skelly DNF'd on the first stage of day 1 with a bent transmission fork. They got that fixed. She was able to drive through the finish and drive all the stages day 2, so that was exciting. Our friends from Garage Hero Hada, we were super, super proud. They got to come through the finish, so we got to see them come through the Super Special. And they didn't just finish. They did us really, 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 really proud. We are so proud of them. And they got 3rd in class.
3rd in class regional limited 2-wheel drive. I think that's their first podium. So
yeah,
it's really awesome, especially to do it at LSPR, which is a very difficult rally. So even finishing was awesome for them, but to get a podium is even more awesome.
And we're so proud of them. They're both 2 terrific rallyists, and we had a great weekend hanging out with them. And we got to see the Millers from Mad Cheshire. We got to see them finish, which was really awesome. And Kevin Schmidt in his
regional open 2-wheel, he took 1st place.
Yeah. So at a lot of rallies we swapped times with him, but he was like, "This is my home rally. This is for all the chips. I'm laying it all out." And he did. Holy cow. He was quick. And the rate of attrition was incredible, but he got that Mazda through it, man. It was amazing. And he put on a great show, and so that was awesome to get to see, Kevin roll through the finish. And I mean, genuinely, it sucked that we DNF'd, but we had such a good time watching the Super Special and just, being excited for our friends that at that point, we didn't care.
Yeah, we've done so many rallies this year, and we haven't been able to do any spectating, so it was kind of nice just to wrap up all the stress of doing rally, especially at this last event, and just sit back, have a beer, and just watch. It's spectating so much fun.
Yeah.
And we should do it more often.
Right,
if we're not doing the rally itself. So.
Yeah, I mean, getting to be a fan of the sport that we participate in is one of the awesome aspects of it. We love rally so much that we'll just sit around and watch rally, and that's awesome. So, so after that, we headed to the awards. They had the awards for the national teams there on the waterfront, which was really, really cool.
Really cool. They timed it just perfect with the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Very beautiful sunsets up here, especially this time of year, with color in the trees. But that was really cool.
Yeah.
Oliver took it home.
Yeah, Oliver won the event, which was pretty amazing to see. Higgins didn't have a great run, had some issues with a tree stump, and
I believe he DNF'd. He DNF'd day 1. I think he re-entered day 2.
Yeah, we passed him on the stage.
Day 2. But Oliver definitely took it home this time. So.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see. After that, we headed to the awards party there at the Michigan Tech College that's there, and we actually had a crew that was from the university, and I'm so proud of our crew this event. They had to come out and save our butts, not once, but twice, both times just way out in the middle of the forest and nowhere, at like an hour or 20, 20, 30 minutes to an hour away both times. And, you know, either one of them ever thought twice about it. They just jumped in and did whatever we asked.
And called them and said, hey, you need to pack up service, come out here. And they did it. They just, like 20 minutes after they had set up the service on day 2, they were packing it right back up and headed out. To rescue us from the woods. So.
And so that was Alex Westby and Michael Claiborne. And anytime we had an issue, they were just more excited. They were just excited to help out. They were like, hey, at least there's some action going on in this rally. We get to be useful. But we like it when we don't have to utilize our crew that much, to clarify. I mean, it's great that they're awesome, but...
It's better when we can say, go in the woods, spectate, have fun, and we'll meet you back here for refuel. It's unfortunate when they get the call and they're at the spectator point that they head back and come find us. So.
Yeah. But it all worked out. Yeah. It all worked out. So, we got to go to the awards. We got to see so many of our friends, win some awards. Jake and Eric got their first award, which was really, really, really awesome to see. And after that, we hung around in the parking lot and finally got to enjoy some of Mama Burke's, world famous brownies.
They were better than they were even talked about. So.
Yeah, they've been really talked up, but they were amazing. And so we enjoyed some brownies with our friends. And then actually, both of our crew guys, Michael came back with us and I showed him some, how we handwrite our notes and how we use reconnaissance videos and just hung out and talked about rally. And then we finally went to bed and got up this morning. I made waffles and sausage and bacon and eggs for breakfast for everybody before we hit the road. And then we left like around noon, and then the truck had problems, and now we've made a full circle and we're back here on the side of the road.
Maybe we'll make it a day without a mechanical issue on one of our vehicles, but we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we'll let you all know what happens when we get back home.
Yeah, so there might be a part 2 to the recap once we figure out how we're going to get home.
But this was the last event of the season. So that was it for us. I think we've placed pretty well so far on points. It's a couple more regional events.
Yeah.
Really to nail down who's where.
Mm-hmm.
I think you pretty well got your position in the National East region open 2-wheel class.
Yeah.
Still remains to be seen what's going on with me. They've got a couple of competitors out there that may still have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin with his first place win definitely moved him up. So
go Kevin, though. We're so proud of you.
If you plan on doing ESPR, then you might have a good chance of getting on the podium as well. So definitely hit it up.
Yeah, we thought about adding another rally in just for those points, but after this weekend, no.
I don't think we're gonna have that quick of a turnaround. ESPR is this coming weekend.
Yeah, we're exhausted.
And we have an oil pan that needs fixed. We have fuel issues that need fixed. I don't think I can make it happen before then.
Yeah, and honestly, we're ready to just kind of be done with the season and focus on next year. One of the things we were talking about, we want to do a video to talk about, our plans and our goals for next season and our schedule for next year. And here in a couple weeks, we're going to do training with Rhiannon and Alex Giselmino for the OzPro rally. And so we're going to learn even more about writing our own notes, which we're really, really excited about.
Yeah, we're going to be headed out to Idaho in a few weekends.
Yeah.
Go hang out with them for a while and get better at doing some recce and get better at writing notes. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. And I'm also really excited. I know we mentioned H&P in our last video there at the end, but I do want to bring them up again. I'll be sharing the link again on our Facebook page, but I talked to them about some t-shirt ideas, and I got a text this weekend with a really, really awesome t-shirt design, and I'll share it on Facebook, but I was asking them about, maybe doing some rally t-shirts that featured some rally ladies, since there are so many awesome ladies in rally. So if you'd be interested in that, I'll share the link on our Facebook, but definitely go check out his page. We have a coupon or a code.
Discount code.
Yeah, discount code. It's for 10%. It's Cooper Auto. COOPERAUTO. And so definitely check his shirts out. Use the code so that he knows that that we sent you there, and check out that shirt. I'll share the new design on our Facebook page. It's really exciting. I love it. We're ordering. We've got a couple shirts for us ordered already, so hopefully we'll be wearing those in the next video.
Yeah, but that's it for the season. So
yeah,
we'll see you all next year.
Well, it won't be next year. We'll have some other videos before then, but we'll see you next season, maybe. I guess.
Next season.
Yeah, and to us, next season begins when we go train, because we're training for next season, so that's when it starts for us.
It started today.
Actually, yeah, I guess it basically, yeah. Someone, who was it that said that as soon as one rally finishes, you're starting the rally to the next event, and it definitely feels like that. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So a few months before the next season starts, and we've got some work to do. We've got a car to fix. We've got some exciting changes coming to the car.
Yeah.
And we've got our co-driver and recce training, so we'll see what we can do next year, next season.
Yeah, so thanks for watching our rally recap, and like I said, there might be another part to this. Once we figure out how to get home, we'll get you updated. Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Where we were stopped at on the side of the road, we were walking the dogs around, and I found this rock, and it looks like sliced ham. I mean, it just came apart like this.